Hey guys, it's Danielle with Danielle Gets It Done, and today Tanya from Project Happy Home and I are continuing our series on raising children with complex emotions.
Gonna love you, honey, on and on and on. I'm a morning dove singing out a song.
My son is 5 and we do not have a diagnosis yet, but we think that he has anxiety, ADHD, and some sensory issues. So that is what we are dealing with. And someone asked a question. I'm not sure if she wanted me to say her name, but you know who you are. She requested that Tanya and I talk about the lonely part of parenting a child going through some of these issues. And I just thought that was such a great topic to discuss because it is so lonely. When the SHIT hit the fan with our son, we were at a Montessori, and it was a legitimate Montessori, very Montessori strict. They had all their certifications. Maria Montessori would have been proud. And I say that because a lot of schools use the word Montessori, but they're not a legitimate Montessori. We actually are going to a school right now that is called a Montessori, but it's really not a Montessori at all. And the whole point of a Montessori, or one of their biggest virtues, is that they adapt to the child's needs. And every child, no matter what they're dealing with, can thrive at a Montessori. And so we were at this really great place, and his teacher had 20 years of experience. She had her master's in child development, just really experienced. And she kind of threw her arms up in the air and said, you know, I don't know what to do with your son. And it just was gut-wrenching to know we were in such a great place, a Montessori that was supposed to adapt to his needs, and that this teacher who had so much experience and so much love for him, she started crying, you know, of guilt when she told us she just didn't know what to do anymore. And I just felt lonely. That's the perfect word to describe how I felt. Like, is my kid really that different? Like, what is going on? I felt so isolated, you know, picking up my child and seeing all the other parents with their normal children leaving, and I just, I felt awful. And I think that is the loneliest time I've ever felt in this journey. Just, I felt different. I felt set aside. I felt not worthy, and it was horrible. And then on the flip side, I've had well-meaning family and friends say, he's fine, he's just a boy, nothing is different about him. You know, everything's fine. My son was like this. Your brother was like this. The list goes on and on. Hi, neighbor. Someone just drove by. The list goes on. And I understand they were trying to make me feel better, but things like that weren't always helpful either. They made me feel like, am I exaggerating? Am I a poor mom and I'm not able to handle my son and I think something's different, but in fact he's just a boy, and instead I am not an adequate mom because I'm not able to handle these situations well with him. So those are kind of the two extremes. One, this really reputable place, and these people with a lot of experience were telling me we cannot serve your son. And then on the other hand, friends and family were telling me everything's fine, this is motherhood. And both of those extremes gave me feelings of loneliness. And so the question was, how do you deal with that loneliness? And for me, I'm in my head kind of person. I love to learn, and so I just dug in to learning and researching things like ADHD, sensory processing disorder, anxiety in children. And as I read and heard other stories, I realized, no, we're not alone. This isn't weird. So many children and parents are dealing with this, and that gave me comfort. And the biggest thing, honestly, to comfort my feelings of loneliness is social media. You know, I think there are so many poor things about social media, but there are amazing things as well. And I've met so many other women. I'm hoping some of you are watching today who I've connected with both on YouTube and Instagram, and just shared stories. And it is the best feeling in the whole world to hear another woman share a story about her son or daughter, and for me to think, oh my gosh, that's me, like me too, that happened to me, and I thought I was the only one. And it's so comforting to know that we are not alone. So I think social media, specifically for me, YouTube and Instagram, has been a great medium to connect with other mothers going through this, and just, it feels so good to know that I'm not alone. So hopefully, if you are at the beginning of your journey or you are feeling lonely, find me on Instagram. It's at Danielle Gets It Done. Send me a message and we can share stories, connect with others in the comments. I would love that, and we can just, come together and know that our children are okay, we're not alone, and we're gonna figure out this journey together. Check out Tanya's video, which will be linked below. Her child is 8, and so she has a little more experience than me, and I'm really excited to hear her journey on the feeling of loneliness through this whole thing. I hope to see you next time. I would love to have you hit that subscribe button, and whatever your plans are today, I hope you get them done. Bye, guys.
Ooh.